It's up in Broncos country. The sun is shining, but it is beautiful, vibrant, crispy. The players about to hit the field. The number one defense, I said it, the most complete team. Let's talk about the defense getting enough love. How about Courtland Sutton and Bo Nix on the program today? Bo Nix making his debut as a Bronco. We, of course, talked to him back in his Oregon days. Didn't know where he was going to go, where he was going to play. How could he be any better this year? What could he possibly be working on? I'm looking for him extending plays out there this year. I'm looking for that Patrick Mahomesian thing, if I can say that, in these parts. I got to tell you, I don't think they care if you bring up Patrick Mahomes. I don't think they care if you bring up anybody in the division. This is a team that has their sights set on the division, but also something a little bit bigger that they're comfortable talking about. That's new. That's new for me. That's new for you. That's new for fans. Why? What's giving Coach the most confidence on this team? Give me somebody sneaky. Who's the... By the way, Coach has never answered who the Joker is. Oh, come on. I have to fly all the way here to figure out who the Joker is. Maybe there's one on the defensive side of the ball as well. I want to talk a little Jahdae Barron, friend of the show. A little RJ Harvey, also friend of the show. Where have the biggest leaps been? And if you can pan over here, Charlie, what the heck is this? What are we building over here, Coach Payton and company? Brilliant ownership, brilliant culture, crispy, love everything about it. Let's go from Broncos camp. Here with a Super Bowl champion, a Coach of the Year, one of the winningest coaches in NFL history, Coach Sean Payton. And for a guy who's got 17 things that he's pissed off about this morning after this practice, you seem to be in a great mood. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good. It's good to have you guys. I think, we had a great weekend. Obviously, it's the first time we traveled for us and been the away team in a joint practice. So, we got to San Francisco Wednesday night. We had a joint practice Thursday, Friday, a walkthrough, Saturday, a game. And when you take, a group of 200 and a lot of new people, new players, new interns, you begin to make a list of things that are just all right, we got to tighten this up. And so overall the week was good. We got a lot of good work done against San Francisco. And now this week we're home. We have Arizona. We got the construction going on in the background. It's a little bit symbolic of our team right now.
What do you mean?
Well, this is going to be pretty nice. It's not finished yet, but wait till you see it.
Will it be done by February?
Our team will be.
Your team will be. Maybe not that. I was going to say, where will the Lombardi Trophy live? In here, over here?
We'll worry about that when it comes.
Well, we have to get to all of this, but I was going to say, you added 3 things to your list of 14. That went viral. Do you get surprised when things like that go viral? You just said there were 14 things that tick you off. That's pretty normal.
You're at that press conference, and you're just trying to be, these are things that are on your mind, and you're just being openly honest. And so I felt like there were a lot of things that encouraged me about that game. There were some things that were not as positive, and then there were some things that maybe were ongoing that I couldn't wait to get home and all right, we got to clean these things up. We get to the airport and the plane's delayed. We land at 4 in the morning.
There's nothing worse.
And there's nothing worse than anyone sitting around me. And so, but Sunday was good. The players were in. There's this saying, the debrief is just as important as the mission or the game. And our ability to come off of a game like that or a weekend like that and truly, without any ego for all of us, including myself, say, all right, here are some of the things that, man, we have to clean up or do differently. And everyone has got to be a willing participant in that, and it's those teams that can improve quicker in what is really a short season that end up having the most success.
If we were playing Family Feud and Steve Harvey were here, I would guess that slow starts would be close to the top of that list of 17. However, I got here today, no slow starts. Shot out of a cannon to start practice. I know that's a huge, huge emphasis. I have a question for you. With the Bo Nix interception at the end of the game, as I was watching, or end of practice, is that something that ticks you off or doesn't? Which column does that lie in?
No, I think one of the challenges when we're competing O versus D is, like, part of me has to take, like, the offensive coordinator's hat off and look at. So I want a competitive drill. I want a realistic drill. And then we can go in and grade it and look at it. And typically when you're in camp long enough, there are these ebbs and flows that go defense or offense. And I thought today we got a lot of good work done. We weren't on the field too long. Tomorrow we'll be in pads. And, so that wouldn't bother me as much. It was a heck of an interception. And then it would be situationally, like, where were we at? Mm-hmm. Was it a gotta have it, or was it, if it's the end of the half, then we might not be as aggressive?
Correct. Let's talk about the season from, like, a macro level for a second.
Macro level. All right.
I think so. I feel like this has the makings of a special season. I think you see it. I feel it. I think the players are echoing it. They're screaming, almost like, I feel like this is the only practice, and I mean this, where it feels like it's a movie. When a play gets made, it's just roar. It's the synchronized, vibrant movie that I'm watching unfold, and I'm hoping it unfolds as a contender, which I think that you are. But it's also special because you have 3 more wins till a big thing happens.
Say that again.
You have 3 wins this year until a big thing happens.
Till a big thing happens.
Yeah, you don't know?
No.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
You need 3 wins to pass your mentor.
Who?
Bill Parcells.
Oh, stop.
On
Really?
the all-time list.
Yeah.
Either Coach is a great actor, or I'm glad that you don't know that. That has to mean a lot. What will that phone call be like?
Well, we talk all the time, and so generally the phone calls can be somewhat. It's funny when I call Bill and we talk football, we immediately go back into he's the head coach and I'm the entry level assistant, and I feel like I'm talking to my father.
That's crazy.
So it's a little like I call for pain. He's been so important to what I do, and what I like. Those 3 years for me were like law school, and still at age 82, like, he's extremely, extremely sharp with situations, games. Now, some of the younger players that he hasn't scouted, he may not know as well, but he can watch a game and ask the right questions relative to why you finished the half this way, why you finished the game this way. He's a great resource, and he's still like when I say his mind is still genius level football.
So you're going to pass him. Student becomes the teacher vibes here. Week 3 against the Chargers if all breaks right.
Well, let's hope we win 3 games.
You will. Good feeling.
No, he's something. I think that, to your earlier point, and it's not the addition of one player, but, there's a Greenlaw and an Afunga and an Evan Ingram, and then there's a handful of other vet players that are signed. There's a draft class, and with certain, and you can't point to one player, but with the certain group, there is a completely different.
What did I say? So this is the most complete team in the NFL.
It's a completely different energy too, and so it's very competitive. They're very serious about their intention. They're very intentional, and man, it's fun to coach a team like that.
Let's get a little more micro now. You're saying it's a complete team. You have such confidence. Listen, last year I was here in this very seat giving you the same coffee and saying it was underselling and over-delivering. I got the vibe that you wanted it to be like a secret, what you guys were building towards. Now I feel like you've got a little look in your eye there, Mr. Payton, and I feel like you've said things about your quarterback, this team, what they're capable of, being a Super Bowl contender. What is the one facet, like the one little piece of that complete puzzle that gives you the most confidence in what this team's evolved to that makes you a contender?
I think we've improved on what was already a very good defense, and we've improved quite a bit. And then offensively in the run game, and then the first thing everyone looks at, even free agents, when they look at deciding on teams, is do they have a quarterback that can. And I think the people that have seen Bo play in person in our division have seen, his skill set, his feet, his ability to get us into the right plays. And then I think it gets back to a series of acquisitions, not just one specific. And you have to be comfortable, like the first meeting with our team in the off-season program, and we're not into phase 1, 2, and 3. Like, we'll spend 6 weeks in phase 1 where they're just over here lifting and running. And then when it comes time for the OTAs, we'll move into phase 3. But that first team meeting was, hey, I don't want to be uncomfortable or phased at all by discussing what it's like to play in the Super Bowl, what it's like to win a division. And make no mistake, and with all due respect, what Kansas City's been able to accomplish has been remarkable. So there's a tremendous amount of respect there for their run. And so I've always in this league thought of the 3 goals is win your division, best seeding possible, win a Super Bowl.
Those are your 3 phases.
And I just think that, yeah, on a near, like, and then I would say for us, like, more specifically is starting fast this year. We didn't back 2 years ago. A year ago we started 0-2 and then bounced back. But us starting fast at home and not putting ourselves in a hole where maybe week 16 could be played for something differently than it should be because of your start.
But I imagine you're more settled now. You're talking about these slower starts, like you were a new coach. You were acclimating. Now it's, in my opinion, it's go
Let's
time.
Go.
Let's
go.
Go time.
Let's
You're
go.
mentioning, Bo, I was reading this morning an excerpt from Seth Wickersham's quarterback book.
Yeah.
They talked about you getting ready. You have your Denny's menu thing of plays, and then you had like Bo's faves, and you were trying to sort of match them up and incorporate it. Can you just tell me quick, like, why is that important to you to do?
Well, I think that
It's very cool.
Yeah, and here's the deal. We're teachers, and so how we taught in 06 was entirely different. I mean, we still took the strengths of, let's say, the year we signed Drew, we came in as a free agent. It was our first year. We hadn't put the offensive playbook together, and so when we signed him, we looked at a lot of the terminology that he knew and was comfortable with, and because we hadn't started yet, we built around that.
Right.
And so I think part of it is just good teaching. What are the things that he's really comfortable at? Last year we asked all 3 quarterbacks, I said, I want your top pass play regardless of down and distance. And then I want to evaluate all 3 of them at the end of the season.
I love that.
And so the same thing again this year. And they've had a lot more time on task in shotgun. They've had a lot more time on task in maybe hurry up or at the line, one play call, one word that means a play. And so it's evolving as a teacher a little bit.
How much does Bo have in the playbook?
Well, it's he's got say in how we put it together, but we put it together in a way where instead of calling 22 flanker drive halfback burst,
of course, naturally,
we might just call it Uber.
Oh, okay,
right?
got
which
it.
is a driver.
Oh,
And so then being able to get to the line of scrimmage and use one word, these players are operating and thinking differently and more spontaneously. And so, of course, we huddle, and of course we go under center, and yet we're in the gun more. So how does that impact our run game? And then there's an entirely new element to the RPOs that he's comfortable with, that we're comfortable with, that we've researched, and we develop, those into the plan. So, like our playbook, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, back in New Orleans is entirely different than our playbook in 24, 25, and 26. People have changed. So, but when you get an Evan Ingram, then you create a role for this player.
I'm glad you brought that up, Coach. We saw each other last in February. you tease this Joker thing, all these wonderful. The beat for the Broncos, they're taking their wagons away. They're freaking out over the Joker. Who's the Joker? You're looking for your Joker. Is Evan Engram your Joker? Who's your Joker? Will you finally tell me?
He's a Joker.
Is he the Joker of the team?
So, what is a Joker?
You tell me. I'm
going to tell you.
Okay.
It's a running back or a tight end that has elite, rare receiving skills. So Travis Kelce's a Joker, Kittle's a Joker,
GQ star, Travis
Sproles, Gibbs, Hawkins. So
RJ Harvey.
Yeah, potential. He doesn't have his Joker wings
Fifth
yet.
on
He
the
doesn't
depth chart.
He doesn't
You're
have.
making him work for it. What is that?
Yeah, he doesn't have his wings yet.
Okay.
He'll get them.
So is it Engram?
Ingram's a Joker.
He's a Joker.
Yeah.
Who's the Joker of your defense? Does it rhyme with Schmidday Schmerin?
I think Barron's one of those guys that can play a lot of different spots. Riley Moss can play a lot of different spots. And I would say up front, Zach Allen is one of those guys that can travel. But the term is, it's and not even realizing it in those early years, we had Bush and then Shockey and then Sproles and Graham and Kamara, and there were a ton of Jokers. And it's not until you don't have one that you're like, shoot, how important, because it's easy to take a receiver out of a game defensively.
For sure.
And it's much harder to take an interior player out of a game.
So you're operating with multiple Jokers all of a sudden?
In a perfect world, you'd like to have two Jokers.
One
at
tight
running
end.
back
Okay.
and one at tight end.
So Harvey, I don't know what you're doing in there that you haven't gotten the okay yet, but I'm hoping that's what happens here. You mentioned the division, so I want to circle back to that. I was thinking at your schedule. I mean, you want to win the West. That's phase one for Sean Payton. One division game in the first 9. 5 over your last 8. Is that on your ticked off list, or do you like that?
That's one where I don't waste calories over, like, there's certain things early in my career where, you looked at it. And so scheduling, I look at travel, and then I just, I don't burn any calories on it. I'm excited that Pete joined the Raiders because that made me the youngest coach in the division. But I haven't really paid attention to exactly when we play the division games. Okay,
we have the Chargers week 3 and all of that is happening. You mentioned that this team is giving you these contender vibes, right? That you've had 6 other teams before. This is the 7th roster where you're like, they've got it.
They have a chance at it.
They have a chance at it. Okay,
yeah.
Got it. They have a chance at it. Which roster comes into your head first when you can compare what this one is?
11 was special.
Say 9. Say 9.
Well, 9 did it. I think 11 might have been one of the better teams. And then,
but 9 did it, Coach. Say it.
9 did it. 6 was tough.
Does it remind you of 9 at all?
Yeah, there's some similarities because here's what happened in 9. There were some veteran free agents that arrived in key positions already with a young, talented draft class. And it wasn't just the young veteran additions. It was like the juju they brought, the leadership. Like when you're around Ufunga and Greenlaw, like
I still don't believe you have them. Like when I saw them, I'm like, I can't believe preseason game. I'm like, how did you get them? It's so insane to think about.
That they bring something very intentional, and it's very serious, and it's very and so the better teams that we've ever been a part of have all taken over and run themselves. And this is one that can do that.
Okay, you decide where you want that Lombardi when all is said and done. I just love that. I feel like you're not giving me like the glare when I'm saying you're a contender. You're not.
It's okay.
You're comfortable with it. Let's go. 3 wins away from passing Parcells. A Super Bowl contender as a floor, in my opinion. Number 1 defense for sure. And I'm going to say top 5 offense. You were top 10 last year. Let's
Thank
go.
you.
You're welcome. Bye. I cannot thank Coach enough. The vibes, feeling comfortable, like he said, competitive, little loosey-goosey. And I like that ticked off list. In fact, I want it to be the length of a phone book before they win the Super Bowl in February. Yeah, I'm saying that comfortably. Nobody's going to come in with a shepherd stick and drag me out of here. As you just heard from Coach, those are the vibes. Up next, let's get into this offense. going up against this number one-esque defense here in Denver. I'd like to introduce you to Bo Nix and his counterpart, Courtland Sutton. All after this. One of the best duos in the league, Bo Nix here in his sophomore season, but you're like sophomore going on grad school and a PhD, I feel like. I don't even know that you had a chance to be a rookie in this league, Bo Nix. We have Courtland Sutton, freshly played, smiling ear to ear. You guys looked amazing out there today. The connection, the chemistry. I'd love to just talk to you guys about what the vibe is in this camp compared, of course, to your first.
It's a lot smoother, I feel like, year two. I know a lot more of what's going on. The huddle operation is much smoother, much better. Just a little bit more confident and, still growing every day. So guys like Courtland and, we got a lot of vets that have played a lot of ball games on our side of the field. And then we got some new guys that are learning it like I was last year. So it's fun. It's a fun training camp. We're excited for year two. A lot to come.
Courtland, I'm sure, when I talked to you last year, you barely knew this gentleman, but you were so confident that he's the guy. Like, I knew it sitting with you and Pat. Now that you've had a year of the Bo Nix experience, what is something that you didn't know about him last time we chatted?
Something I didn't know about Bo, man.
Or something you've seen pop off.
I think I underestimated how smart he is. I know that I kept saying that he was a very smart individual on and off the field, but like he's very mature and knowledgeable beyond his years on and off the field. I learned a lot from him in the mornings, getting to have conversations with him in between plays, on the sideline, even in the huddle. There'll be times where something happened and he's like, all right, next time we get into this, we're gonna do it like this. And it's like just those little things, for a guy that's going into his second year, for him to have that awareness, man, it's amazing to be able to pick his brain on certain things.
Do you guys let him be a young quarterback at all? Like, I almost feel like poor Bo.
I don't have time for that.
I was gonna say you didn't get any.
We can't be a young quarterback.
There's so much put on your plate last year. You absolutely crushed it. Congratulations on the season. How would you describe the chemistry that you two have right now?
Well, it's there, but it's still growing. I feel really good where we are, but there's still things we have conversations about. There's still looks that we get that we have to go over, and still looks that we get that are new to us. So we know there's going to be a lot of that in the future, but at the same time, we've had a lot of catches together already, and we expect many more, and those just come at practice and through the film room, and then they show up on game day. So all the work has to be done before we get there, or we're not going to continue to grow and develop like we want.
You guys started so fast, like it shot out of a cannon today. No slow starts. That man over there talking is harping on that big time, especially with you, Courtland, apparently. What happens in these first 5 minutes of games? What's happening?
Yeah, so Coach came to me, and he had his Wheaties this morning, and he came and had a conversation with me about.
Or a day off yesterday.
Something. He's well rested, but we've had our conversation about getting to a faster start, and I know that it's something that we've been aware of. He and I've talked about it. We had a good conversation about it today, and it's just trying to be the best version of myself. As early and often as possible, and as long as possible, and. That's something that we're working on. That's something I continue to try to be better at over the course of my career, and it's something that that now that we're aware of it, we're both gonna work at it.
I saw you get one over on Pat today.
That's my dog.
You too, Bo. You too.
That's my dog. We be out here working iron sharpening iron.
Who gets more excited when that happens? I mean, he's the best defensive player in the National Football League, as we know. Do you get more excited, or do you get more excited?
Well, I'm gonna go off the cuff here. I'm gonna say honestly, Pat gets the most excited when that happens, because then he kind of understands that we're not afraid to go over there to his side, and he's the best in the game for a reason. He's really good, but I still feel like we got to attack him and go give him some practice opportunities, give him looks, and that's the only way he's going to continue to get better. I tell him all the time he's got to go back to back. He's got to be the best one again this year, and so he's confident. He plays as well as I've ever seen. He's a great teammate, but I would say it's not shocking when it happens, because we're not afraid to be aggressive and go to his side, but we just want him to get the work. We want him to see those looks, so that when he gets in the game, it's he's not going to see any better.
We love seeing it. I know Coach is obsessed with these slow starts, getting rid of them. We want to start fast, get you guys that Lombardi to put either in that new building or in wherever we're going to put it. What is the number one thing on your list? Like, what are you focused on the most I saw you out there extending plays. I know that's
well.
been a focus.
The most important is Arizona this week. We got an important preseason game.
Look at my producer shaking his head like you're a perfect quarterback.
Well,
you
the
are
thing
a perfect
is
quarterback.
Well, the thing, if you don't look at this week, you'll miss what the opportunities to come. We got a big practice with them, big game, an opportunity to get on a better start, an opportunity to practice against another physical opponent. But it's just that it's the next time we get to put on the pads and go play football. And I think that's what that's the best part about our team is we're not prima donnas. We're just excited to go play football the next time, whenever that opportunity presents itself. And for right now, it's tomorrow against each other, and then Arizona will be here. So we got a lot to do this week before we can start worrying about a Super Bowl.
Courtland, why does it make you laugh?
He's spoken like a true starting quarterback. Literally, I think he might be. Somebody got a little card over here. He's reading off the script. No, my dog did. He answered it correctly, though. I think that's the same way I would answer it. It's day by day. We just had a really good practice. Got to go in here and break down the film. I'm sure Coach talked to you about the whole importance of the debrief, and that's something that we've been taking a big approach at this training camp, is making sure that we don't allow these opportunities of watching the film and taking each meeting and each walkthrough, each practice as serious as possible, because every step matters. You can't look past one step and sort of get to the next one. You might trip and fall. So in order for us to be able to get to where we want to go, we got to make sure we step on each step and master it as much as we possibly can. So we're gonna go in here and watch this film from practice so that we can get ready for tomorrow.
Spoken like one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League.
I don't know where I like the narrative that we had a good practice, but I wasn't necessarily too excited with it today. But that's just probably
what about it? What's on your list?
A true starting quarterback.
What's your list of ticked off
well,
things?
I felt like starting from me, the energy could have been better today, but I just got to do my job better, and until it's perfect, it's not done well enough. So
fair enough.
We're excited just to be able to learn and grow together. We got a good football team, but we don't want to just be talk. We're going to hear that enough. We want to go out there and actually be a good football team. So it doesn't happen by accident.
Coach and I talked about how he takes the quarterback's plays, your favorite plays, and he sort of tries to incorporate them or use them as education, see what you guys value as he's putting so much on your plate. Courtland, I want to know the play that you like to go up to Bo and say, get this in the playbook, get this on that list that Coach Payton gets. What's the play?
It's really week to week. Week to week, depending on the scheme that we're going up against. Bo and I have these conversations. I might send him a little text, or like when we get in on Monday after a game, or early Wednesday, we'll have a conversation and go through like the install and say, okay, we like this play right here. Like, we got to make sure that this makes it through the week and it doesn't get shot down over the course of the few days. But it just kind of all depends. But he and I, we just try to master as many of the plays as we possibly can. 'Cause at the end of the day, we as the receivers, tight ends, running backs, we run the play that he comes into the huddle and calls. He has to run the play that Coach calls to him in his headset. And so if we're prepared for whatever he calls in that huddle, then we can go out there and master it to 100%. That's ultimately the whole goal, is to make sure that we're ready for whatever he calls. But there isn't, I wouldn't say there's like one play that we're like, we must get this in. We're just trying to be the best we can at each play.
And the chemistry is a big part of that. I was watching, and I was really looking, because I was seeing a lot of deep balls, not like to Mims, not like today, and I was like, where's Courtland in explosive plays? And you're third. There's Justin Jefferson, there is Jamar Chase, and then it is you. And then I started, of course, I was literally on the sideline, not watching a lot of practice. I was looking at highlights from last year, and you throw the ball, you're so run, the timing, the trust. You guys have a lot of faith in each other. Can we be number one this year? Is that the goal?
Well, it always goes back to, our practice habits, and he practices every day. He never gets, doesn't take any days off. We connect a lot in practice. We make sure we get the reps against a good opponent in practice, and I think that's what kind of translates in the game is our practice habits and going against elite competition on defense. We've seen different techniques that we can attack, and we discuss a lot, so that we may get 2 or 3 reps in one rep. Just, hey, if they do this next time, we're going to do this, or we'll counter it by this, whatever. And he's very football smart enough to know advanced stuff, so we can talk in a kind of a deeper language that allows us to go out there and see many looks, really by getting one look at it. So that's all it is taking practice to the game, And we're always going to continue to try for even more explosives. Not really worried about a list, but just for our team to be more explosive.
I met Pat Bryant in the offseason, rookie, making Courtland smile. We love to see it. He said that you guys, it hadn't happened yet back in April, but you guys were planning on doing some sort of off-season chemistry activity. What do you guys end up doing?
Well, we had a little trip. We had the guys, all go to the same spot. We hung out. We had a bunch of meals together, and it was just the time spent together that you don't really get unless you plan for it, unless you're very intentional about it.
Whose idea was that?
It's kind of a thing. I would say probably every team has a little throw and retreat at some point. It's pretty big at this point.
Very secretive, though. Usually, I'm hearing about the jet skis in Minnesota, and I'm hearing about Drake Maytag. You guys are being a little hush. What is this place? Is this like a Discovery property Sean sent you guys to? Like, what are we talking about?
No, it's if the thing is if I let it know, then it's out, and everybody will have media there next year.
And then Sean McVay will be there trying to get trade for you or something.
we want, and that's the thing. We want a nice private experience. We don't want it to be loud and make it this big ordeal. We just want guys being themselves, and we don't want anything bigger than that. So it's that's how you get to know guys. That's how you really get to see. Oh, you know what? This guy, he's got a great personality. This guy, he can do this. This guy, he's funny. He's got these qualities, and that's how you see it. Because some guys, they get caught up in practice and meetings, and you never really get to see that side of them. So that's the fun part of the offseason when you get to hang out.
Courtland, how easy is it to say this is the best defense in the National Football League?
I mean, I know Bo said we don't talk about lists and numbers and stuff, but, I mean, the numbers show that the guys played, they performed really, really well last year. And we added some really good pieces to that defense. And, based upon what we've been able to go against at practice, they're practicing their butt off. Like, they're giving us really good looks. They're making it hard on us, we're making it hard on them. And it's fun to be able to do that, because when we get the chance to go against what was arguably one of the best defenses last year, every day at practice, they're making us better, and we get a chance to go make them better. And
they're better now.
And they're freaking flying around out there. Like they're flying around at every position, from the D-line to linebackers to the secondary. Everybody out there is out there making plays. And I think another thing that I can't remember if we talked about it, but the depth of our defense is amazing. Like, we got a lot of really good guys that may not be starters, but are out there playing their butts off. And it's fun to see that, because everybody's getting good looks, not just the starters. The 2s, 3s, everyone's getting good looks. And ultimately, our team is getting molded really, really well right now. We're in that hot press right now, and boys out there really getting a lot of really good reps. And it's fun to see. It's fun to be a part of. It's fun to come to work every single day knowing that we're going to get really good quality reps.
Tough division, as we know. I would just love to know from each of you. And by the way, the defense getting so much love. Does that work on you guys at all? Does it bother you? No?
No, they earned it.
Do you guys want to be more under the radar? Because I feel like this offense was top 10 last year also.
Well, I love when they talk about our defense, because that means our defense is going to be really good. I'm never going to complain about having a great defense.
I wouldn't listen to what people talk about, though, Bo. People don't know what they're talking about. Jahdae Barron, when you said guys were flying around, is that who came to mind?
Yeah, 1,000%.
He's unreal out there.
He's out there making plays. He's out there. It's funny, during OTAs, they started getting out there, and you look out there and you're like, daggum, they only got one linebacker out there? Like, it's DBs all over the place. You're trying to make sure you account for all of them. You're trying to figure out who you got to block in the run game, who Bo and the guys are going to wind up miking with them having so many DBs out there. And, it's cool to see the different looks that they can give an offense based upon the talent level that we have in that secondary. Man, I'm talking J-Mac to Riley Moss, Pat, Huff, Brandon Jones, PJ Locke, I just said Jahdae, right? Jahdae.
Coach said he agreed with me that he's the joker of the defense.
They got so many guys over there.
It's impressive to see him be able to play many positions already.
Yeah. I feel like you were just a rookie a day ago.
Last one
for you guys, this RJ Harvey thing. Fans want to know. It's a very, got to earn his stripes. Courtland, as a young veteran on this team who knows Coach Payton better than maybe everybody on this team, what does he have to do? What does he have to do to move up that depth chart and be handed the keys to the kingdom?
Shoes, go to work every day. RJ's been working his butt off since OTA, since he got drafted and since he showed up. He's been working his butt off, and he's a very quiet individual, but he's so willing to learn. And I've always said that about young guys, young guys that come in. If you're willing to learn and you work hard, you have a really good chance of being able to play for coach. And I think that's something that can translate to any other team. But just speaking about coach in particular, if you're a young guy that can learn, listen, and go out here and play really hard, you have a really good chance of being out there, go play for him. And that's something that he does really, really well. The guy runs the ball really hard, and he practices really hard. And those are things that are going to allow him to get the reps that, earn more reps, I should say.
Courtland, what happened to this coach? Last year, we talked playoffs, and I felt like it was like, ooh, like let's temper ourselves, like in general. And now he's out here. You're top 5. You guys are Super Bowl team. Like what has happened to coach?
Man,
or what did you guys do to get that out of coach?
Yeah. I would say you got to speak it into existence, but at the end of the day, Bo said it best. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done. We have, I don't know how many more practices of training camp that we have, but we have a lot of work that we still need to work on and still continue to lay this foundation going into this season so that we can ultimately get the best 53 to go out here and go compete this year. And, that's ultimately the main thing. And the main thing, always keeping the main thing. And I would say that is, taking it day by day, getting 1% better each day. And that's all we can control.
But what do you want to do more of this year?
Win games.
There we go.
Just win more games.
Yeah, win more games, we'll be just fine.
Okay, I love it. I mean, do you want to one-up coach on the Super Bowl? I mean, he said he's top 5. Do you want to throw top 3 out there?
Well,
not you, Bo.
Let's
Courtland.
just make sure we're going out there and, we got to, I don't know what I was last year, but.
Well, coach is your top 5.
Listen, I'm glad that I got a coach that believes in us as players to put that stuff out there. But the good thing about our team is I've said it already before, but we're going to have, guys that continue to show up and work. They're not going to let the noise and the distractions get to them, but they're excited to get out there. And you don't really hear, the Super Bowl kind of goes without having to say it. We're all working for that goal, and you can just kind of see in demeanors of guys and by the way guys show up is that is our goal. And we don't really have to talk about it. We can just go out there and be about it and practice and practice hard, and that's just going to make each other better. And you never know. We could go out there and have a great season, could go out there and have to grow and learn a lot. But we're definitely going to be trying. We're definitely going to work really hard at it.
Look at this terrifying force that's just standing.
Yeah, look at that. Look at him.
But look at him. He's smiling. He's not even serious.
No, his face was very serious in talking about it. Will you tell me you're a Super Bowl team? Probably, yeah. But you guys are just going to work yourselves into a Super Bowl, at least into contention. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. Thank you for the time, honestly.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having
us.
us.
And Bo, congrats on everything. And I think, once you're here, it's hard to take those leaps, but I have no doubt about you guys. Courtland, a Super Bowl ring potentially, a deep run to the playoffs. Let's go.
Chasing it.
Congrats on the new contract.
Thank you very much.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Hopefully it'll let you play a little freely.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. Okay, we'll be back after this with Pat Surtain. I wish you could have seen Courtland looking at me while Bo Nix was answering these questions the way that he was. He is a perfect quarterback, one that you would hire to be a quarterback in an action movie or something. Just incredible to talk to both of them, what they're working on, the expectations, glowingly speaking about the defense, some of these pieces, and also keeping some stuff quiet. I don't hate that. Don't tell me where you guys were, what you were doing, what it meant to you. Absolutely. I love everything about it. Up next, let's talk to the cornerstone, the soul of this defense, Mr. Patrick Surtain, who, yes, he was glaring at this offense. Talking lovingly about them. He's here to hopefully sell me on this number 1 defense being as good as everyone says. The accolades are too long to list for Patrick Surtain, reigning Defensive Player of the Year, 3-time Pro Bowl, 2-time All-Pro cornerback, entering, I cannot even believe it is season number 5
it's crazy.
For Pat Surtain, who just has heard Courtland Sutton and Bo Nix say, you have to run it back.
Yeah.
That wasn't enough. We need another DPOY. How does that feel?
It feels good, but I know there's a lot more work to be done to fulfill that. So we just out here sharpening iron, getting better each and every day. So, that's a good thing about it. There's always another year to achieve more goals. So.
When you won that award, how soon did you forget that you won that award?
I ain't gonna lie, the offseason went by pretty fast. It went by so fast that even as I was enjoying the award, it seemed like day after day something new was happening. It just flew by. So I'm definitely always gonna remember that award, but now it just seems like a new season is on the horizon, so I got to look forward to new things.
What was Coach's text or phone call when you won?
He was at the honors, and we talked. He was like, congrats. Knew this was going to happen, you know what I mean? So a lot of positive affirmations going on into that. So it was great, especially with my family there as well, too. So it was awesome.
A little bit of a temp check here because I see you every year at camp. We do this, we do that. It feels a little more like a movie. I can't explain it. Like a little more like crisper, vibrant, everything's sort of synchronized. How would you describe the energy evolution of this camp compared to even the last year or the year before?
Man, I could see the energy has shifted. Just going from last year to this year, we got some new additions, key additions. Got a new team, great young guys. Last year this team, people didn't know much about our team, so it was a lot of predictions, a lot of uncertainty. But now, we put people, on the radar, and that's what's key, to come out here every day and work on our craft, and get better. But like you said, it does feel like a movie because you could tell the winning environment. You could feel the pedigree, you know what I mean? You could feel the energy.
Yeah, I can feel the energy. I saw it in the first preseason game, yet Coach had a list of 14 things after he didn't love, and then he had a list of 17 things after practice today. One of those things he mentioned was slow starts. We know it. I'm sure you guys harp on it in the debriefs and all of that. How do you do your part as a Defensive Player of the Year, as the tenured veteran now on this defense? How do you do your part to eliminate that off of his ticked-off list?
I feel like everybody got to do their 111. I know he's big on the mental errors and stuff like that. That first series throughout the game, they had an explosive pass, stuff like that happens, but it's all about the mental errors, the mental aspect of the game. That's key. Because, it's NFL, players going to make plays, they get paid doing that. So, but it's all about doing the right job, doing your role and stuff like that. So I think just eliminating the critical mistakes that could, cost you, certain plays and situations throughout the game. So I think that's why he harped on that so many times, because he knows what it looks like at a high level. So definitely hear him out.
I'm on a plane ride right after this, and we know it's going to get delayed, and we know I'm going to sit on the tarmac for an hour. So I'm going to ask you this.
Yeah.
Hopefully my Wi-Fi is working. If you were to tell me, okay, here's your assignment, here's what I want you to do. Watch this guy on defense. Watch the highlights from camp. Watch the college tape. Watch the whatever on this guy on defense. Who would you put me on?
Let me see. Jaquan McMillan.
Tell me why.
I mean, he's lights out. He makes plays left and right. It's a pleasure to go out there and play with him because, I just seen his growth, from being a rookie to where he's at now. And he's just out there making plays. Every time I see the ball in the air, he always come down with a play. Whether it's a fumble, a sack, an interception, it's always like he's around the ball. And it's a pleasure to watch him go to work and go to action. I know he's under people's radar a little bit, but he's going to make some noise for sure. So if I was to tell you a certain player to look at on the defensive side, it'd definitely be him.
I can't wait to do that. I'm going to hate that flight, but I'm going to grab my Starburst and my Mamba fruit chews and look at McMillan.
Not to put him too much on the spotlight, but
no, but I think it's important, and I love that.
It is very important.
Speaking of spotlight, this defense.
Yeah.
Lots of talk about it. What you say matters. Coach said he's comfortable with these sort of labels, this Super Bowl contender. We've got Bo Nix, second-year quarterback, and Courtland Sutton, tenured, newly paid vet, saying you have to put it out there. You got to manifest it. Yeah. Big change from last year when it comes to this. How, in your words then, given those things, how good is this defense?
It's unreal. I think we have the ability to be mentioned in history amongst the greats, but, you can't talk about it. You got to be about it, and that's with putting in the work every day. Everybody flying around to the ball, making plays. But with all personnel, you talk about Zach Allen, you talk about Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper, DJ Jones, JFM, Malcolm Roach. Then you go to the linebackers, Alex and Dre, new addition. In the secondary, you already know. But when you have that much talent on the defensive side, the sky's the limit. Now it's all about how can we control our own destiny and make sure we put out good tape and put out, good ball each and every week. So
Best in the league going into the season?
I believe so.
I believe so. I mean, you won up that and went right to the history books, which I love to see. I wanted to talk to you about you. It is very hard. It's a very difficult task for someone like me to find something to talk to you about that isn't already really talked about and really exalted, justifiably and deservingly so. But something happens when you get and it rarely happens because nobody's throwing you away anymore. But when you get the ball in your hands, what happens that you just know what to do with it? I feel like you almost don't get enough credit for your ball skills when you get the ball.
It's like a second instinct. Growing up, I played a lot of offense. You know what I mean? So I know what it feels like to score touchdowns.
We know.
Juke players out and get in the end zone. You know what I mean? I think that's just second nature of me because, when I think about having the football in my hands, I'm thinking about what can I do next? You know what I mean? I just don't want to get an interception and call it a day I'm looking to score.
Are you thinking American Heritage High School?
Yeah. Back to my glory days. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about how can I make a highlight tape? How can I get the ball in the end zone? Because, DBs, we only get a certain amount of credit, you know what I mean, for what we do. But I think the game changer plays come, when you make touchdowns and make, the plays that count.
You had 132 interception return yards.
Yeah.
You lead the league in that. I feel like, you know what I'm feeling from this interview? I feel like you're more confident than ever. What's going on there? Is it the DPOI?
Nah,
is it the Hufanga Green Law?
I think it's just all about, I think this year it's a lot of things to be confident about. You know what I mean? I think the energy around the team is great. I mean, when you talk to the guys in the locker room, it's nothing but positive conversations and stuff like that. And, the great thing about it is, when you got a team like that rallies behind each other, you know what I mean, we just boost each other's heads up every day. You know what I mean? We watch plays on film and everybody in the room it's just a great thing to see, just to feel that synergy all around the team, you know what I mean? So, it's a lot of confident people in the room. It's for good reason, but, it's all about the work that we put out here on the gridiron to make us so confident.
You know what I hate seeing?
Yeah.
These numbers. You were targeted a career low 56 times last year. As someone who loves watching you do your thing, I kind of hate that, but you posted your lowest numbers in passer rating allowed, of course, and receptions with 35 and yards with 306. Nobody wants to look your way. Do we expect that to continue, or how much more or how much less are quarterbacks going to target you this year?
I don't have an over or under on that, but I know when the opportunities come, that's when I gotta make my plays. So
say you hate it. Say you want the ball.
I know it's pros and cons with it.
It's a compliment.
Yeah. It's definitely a compliment. It's much respect, but I definitely will want more.
Because they know you're going to score an American Heritage High School touchdown. They're not touching you. You know when I don't want it to happen most? Can I tell you? You know what I'm going to say, Jamar. Monday Night Football.
I know it's Monday night.
How physical are those? All of it, the press man matchups, all of it. How's that going to go?
I think it's great comp. Great battles. We've been playing against each other since high school, so when I go up against him, I know it's going to be a great battle. He's a great receiver, and he knows that. That I'm a great corner as well too. So, and I know I'm gonna get looked at way more because of the matchup. So, it's always great work, great comp. So I'm looking forward to it. We played, I think, 3 times so far, so looking forward to this battle as well, too.
How do we get Coach to put you in at receiver?
Oh, man.
Can't let Travis Hunter have all this fun. I can't believe watching some of your highlights. I'm not joking. We did it this morning, me and my producer, Cal.
Yeah.
How did you not play offense in high school? Did your dad just hate receivers that much? What happened?
I wish I did play more offense, but
worked out well for you, though.
Yeah, it worked out well. We just had so much talent on both sides of the ball, so it wasn't no need, but I definitely, I was a punt returner, so that was a bit of a highlight, so, but, it'd be like that.
You ever talk to Coach about it? Let's do it.
I haven't.
No?
I don't want to talk to him about it.
I'll go chase him around and bother him after this. Jahdae Barron, have to ask you about him. I've heard such glowing things. Coach sort of cop to maybe he's like this joker role on defense. That's how I put it. He agreed. Yeah. He's shining everywhere. Versatile. Where's he shining most in Patrick Surtain's eyes?
I think his ability his IQ. I think he understands coverages and in a unique way to understand offensive tendencies as well too. So I think he's smart out there. He understands what's coming. He being at the right spot at the right time. So he looks like a vet out there, you know. But you know, obviously, it's still more work to be done on his side. Obviously, being a rookie, and they got him moving all over the place. So and he's handled it pretty well. So I definitely say it's IQ.
A lot of love on the defense. Number one defense. You agree. History books, all of that. You guys are loaded. You're a complete team.
Yeah.
You guys are a complete team, both sides. I'd like you to end this by giving some love to the offense. Maybe what's the one thing that gives you the most confidence in them going from top 10, top 5, top 3, wherever you want to put them?
Explosiveness. I mean, I just see it all over the field. A lot of explosiveness just from the receivers, running backs, and obviously Bo doing his thing. It's going to be fun to watch.
That smile. We're going to slow-mo. We're going to freeze. Like that smile right there.
Yeah.
People aren't talking about this offense.
It's going to be fun to watch, I'm telling you. And not just, you know, everybody know Bo, everybody know Court, you know, but all the guys that's coming along,
Evan.
you know, making plays. You know, even Evan, the newest addition. So he's another joker. So a lot of jokers on the offensive side.
A lot of jokers, and a lot of jokers in the AFC that are going to be crying come January and February. Patrick, we appreciate you so much. You know what else I love about you? I love that you don't have like a gimmicky nickname. I was thinking, we're like Patrick Surtain. Like, there's no Revis Island. We're looking at your number, your like targets thrown number. You don't want that though, do you? You're just.
I don't know. Some people say like.
What do they say?
PS2.
Do you like that?
I mean, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, like you said, it's not like a catchy thing. It's just a way of just saying
at that
it.
one right there. Purgatory Pat.
Purgatory Pat. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I just think I like Patrick Surtain II. It's nice and clean.
That's smooth.
And
that's
speaking
smooth.
of you, you've had quite an off season. I think you're just a happy clam, left and right, DPOY. We saw you at the ESPYs, Patrick. You look unbelievable. And we can't wait to see you, of course, against Arizona, and then just crushing everybody week in, week out. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
I always try to get the Broncos into camp, you know, a couple weeks. I would have liked to get them even further into camp, but schedule wouldn't allow. And the reason for that is it's sort of like a breath of mountain fresh air for me. Getting here, it sort of gives me a little jolt after 12 training camps. The one that sets this apart is sort of the newness of it. Still, in Coach Payton's third year, it's sort of it's all come together. We're building still on the fly. We're building the plane as it's going and hopefully landing somewhere deep into the playoffs or at Levi Stadium, which we'd love to see in beautiful Santa Clara later this February, next February. There's still like a newness. There's still this vibe that there's work to be done. I'm very curious about the debrief. It doesn't sound like anything spectacular or extraordinary, but for everyone it is. Take me into that debrief room. That's where I'm going after this. A big thanks to the Broncos, the entire comm staff for treating us so well. Thanks to the beat reporters for setting the stage for us every day here where it all happens. I feel like I'm a little part of something here today. And we're loud about it. And I like it. All right, big thanks to Coach Payton, of course, to Patrick Surtain, Courtland Sutton, Bo Nix for taking time. It means a lot to me. Hopefully the fans are enjoying it. We will see you guys with the Saints tomorrow. Maybe the coach looking with me.